David, it was in early November announced by the federal government that we're going to have this vaccine rollout. They were buying the vaccines from overseas, and all the states and territories would then be responsible to get the vaccines in our arms. Daniel Andrews spent $6 million in January on software to run an online booking system. He said then, and since then, it only needs a little bit of fine-tuning. How complicated are these systems to get up and running?
Well, first of all, Peter, thank you for having me on the program. And secondly, first and foremost, I really want to say that no one can deny that we're dealing with a complex situation that's fluid. All levels of government are dealing with a plethora of issues: hotel quarantine, border closures, vaccine rollouts, outbreaks, and so on. So no one's denying that we're dealing with a complex situation. However, the systems that we introduce, like an online booking system, should simplify things, not make them more complicated. And at the end of the day, what we're dealing with here is a system to allow self-service booking of appointments. And it really shouldn't be that complex. I'm a little concerned that the government's over-engineering or overcomplicating the problem.
Well, we know New South Wales is online, Queensland's online. Why should it take so long in Victoria? I mean, $6 million on the table. They bought the software months ago. Yet Jerome Weimar says, it'll be a number of weeks. They're still doing testing. It'll be a number of weeks. We knew we were getting vaccines in November. Why the delay?
Look, when I've got clients in this kind of situation, which is a crisis situation, I tell them to take a deep breath and really follow 3 steps. First of all, divide the problem into simple chunks that can be easily resolved, like a basic online system for booking, which has been implemented thousands of times and is a solved problem. Second of all, do things in parallel. Don't stack up a series of steps where each one depends on the one before it. And finally, I tell people in this kind of a situation, ask for help. Don't try and do everything yourself. Why not rely on the experts? The local industry, particularly in Victoria, has world-class experts who can assist the government, and they should be leaning on us and leveraging the local industry innovation and expertise to deliver a solution, not try and do it all themselves. And I just feel that the approach that's being taken here is really exemplified by, perfection being the enemy of progress. We're told that the system is...
Sorry, David, I'll let you finish and I'll just make a comment.
I was going to say, we're told that the system is going to have all these bells and whistles and it's going to link into the national vaccine system and link into inventory systems and so on. But in the meantime, we've missed out on a basic booking system.
Well, this is the same. Last year they were making this perfect contact tracing system, and while they're doing the perfect, New South Wales is just getting on with it. We end up with 800 dead and they don't. This isn't, your point there about getting the Victorian industry behind them to assist in the complexity of it, this isn't what they're doing. In fact, they're giving these big contracts to foreign companies. We've seen $4 million handed to IBM for contact tracing system that they then scrapped. They then waited 5 months to put their Salesforce system in last year for contact tracing. Yep. There's millions spent on systems. They try them out, they abort them. We never know why. I get the point about outsourcing, but I think what's also the problem, and I've worked on government systems like this, the persons or people inside the government departments are procuring goods and services that they've got no understanding on. So when they bring it in, I think they're just not sure whether or not they're meeting targets or how they're actually going to roll it out, so they abort it and move on. Do you think they're going to get this right, and when?
Look, I haven't been part of the government's decision-making processes on this particular occasion, but I can say that for many years I've been on the other side of the table, and I've also been part of the Minister's working group on IT procurement in the past. And I'd make the following points. First of all, it's good that the government's trying to be agile. However, the spaghetti of governance, multi-level decisions, is leading to poor outcomes. And second of all, that and that expertise that I talked about, that should be brought into the procurement process. We're the experts. We know what will work. And that's just not being utilised in the right way. And as a result, you're seeing large amounts of money. And what's really important when we talk about the psychology in the rollout of a system here is that confidence is one of the key elements. And the community is losing confidence because of the 4 or 5 months that we've been waiting for an online booking system, which everyone knows is generally a simple thing to do. And that's going to get in the way.
All right, I've got to leave it there, David.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going to leave it there because I've got a busy show still to come. We can book restaurants, but we can't book a COVID jab. Thank you for your time. I'll talk to you again. There's no doubt about that. David Brykman, thank you for your time.
It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right.